Hi there, the Ulster Expat here, back for another video. Yeah, so no real theme for today's video. I'm actually trying out my new phone holder, phone tripod. So thought I would invest in one of those to try and help, without having to have the shaky hand going for all my videos. So yeah, 20 quid for Amazon. It's pretty good going. I got to train myself to actually look into the camera lens. I keep just looking at my face on the on the screen facing me. So yeah, it's been a while since I last posted. I think now that I have the tripod and the setup to do, I probably will post a little bit more often. Still going to try and do these sort of simple straight to camera videos to try and, as I've said before, cut down on the editing, etc. So yeah, so what have I been up to? Well, currently, very excitingly, I don't know if you can kind of see this. So currently line cleaning at the moment. Don't do it very often, but yeah, it's been a while, so I thought I would do it. Now I can't really get this into camera, but if you are into line cleaning, or if you need to push sanitizer through anything, which you quite often do if you're using bottling taps, even just cleaning your lines, invest in one of these sort of like I don't know if they're like sprayers, pressurized sprayers. So basically, you've got the pump there which puts pressure in. I have this linked up to just a beer out post, which actually screws on to the fitting just here at the end, which is quite cool. So if you do that, then yeah, it makes your life so much easier. I mean, there are dedicated sort of brew companies that will market you something like this, but you don't need to pay the premium for that. You just buy a multi-purpose pressure sprayer off Amazon, and it does everything that it needs to. But yeah, so I've been line cleaning. I've been tap cleaning. My goodness. Yeah, cleaned my taps. Like literally, like took the taps apart completely, and I cleaned them. And oh my goodness, yeah, probably should be doing that more often than I was, because one of them certainly, I think, which had a few dark beers through it, was particularly manky. So yeah, so I think if you have a Keezer, you'll be familiar with doing that. But that was certainly the first time I'd taken the tap apart to clean it, and whoa, it was it was grotty. So yeah, what else have I been up to? I've made myself some cheat notes just as for saying. So yeah, line cleaning and tap cleaning. Also, it's the time of year for those that dabble in a bit of cider making, to do some cider making. So I'm actually going around to a friend's house next weekend to make cider properly. So we're in the process of collecting apples at the moment. Then my friend has full on scratter and a couple of presses, and we're going to get some apple juice to make proper cider. I do make cider on a regular basis, but it comes from supermarket bought apple juice. Now I go for the posh stuff, the 100% pressed juice. But my friend who does this sort of on an annual basis says that I'll definitely notice the difference in getting proper apples and sort of processing the apples. I think it takes a while. I think we've sort of set aside a full day to get through the amount of apples that we've brought. I'm quite lucky in that where I live in Edinburgh, the sort of all the houses behind where I live were built on an old apple orchard from way back, going on nearly 100 years ago. But the interesting thing was that whenever the developers built the houses, whatever apple trees fell in the space of the gardens, they kept. So actually, a lot of the houses behind us have apple trees in their gardens, and I've got a few sort of schooled parents that I know that they're basically anytime I ask them do they have apples, they're like yes. Like, can you please come and take them, because all they do is they fill up their sort of the garden waste bin. So yeah, so I'm happily going along to nab some of those apples. I've already got some. I'm gonna go and do the last batch on Wednesday of this week. Today's Monday, so another couple of days, and then I'm get my apples, and then next Saturday spend the whole of the day. So I've got the day off from the children, from my wife. She's going to mind the kids, and I'm going to go off and make cider. So it's going to be, well, press the juice anyway, and get the cider. Going to bring it home in that little jerry can you can see there. Again, I only brew 10 litre batches, so I only need 10 litres. And then yeah, so got to try and in my experience, cider really benefits from a bit of aging. So we're in start of October now, or coming up to the middle of October. So gonna brew that, gonna ferment that, from the weekend, and then I'm gonna basically let it sit and age in a keg till probably about Christmas. And that's what I find 3 months. If you can wait that long, 3 months really takes the sort of agricultural edge off some of the cider, and it becomes perfectly drinkable. So I use champagne yeast in my cider. It takes it down really, really low. I know some others like to use different yeasts that don't maybe take it down quite as dry as that. But yeah, saison yeast apparently is another good one to use for cider. But again, I'm not a massive cider expert, but I do like it, and I actually like it, the fact that when you brew cider, or when you ferment it, like it literally is, if you take away the fact of processing the apples like we're going to do, it really is just a case of dumping it into a fermenter, throwing some yeast and a few other bits. I put pectin enzyme in mine, a little bit of wine tannin, and a bit of malic acid, from an old recipe that I picked up a few years back. But yeah, literally you could come down in the evening, and you could have cider fermenting or ready to ferment within about 30 minutes. So not that I'm not dissing brewing beer. Obviously I love brewing beer, but it makes a massive difference actually when you can come down and just do it in 30 minutes, and then away you go. So yeah, and what else has been on my mind? It's been a while actually. I mean, I did post this on the BrewTube official group, but just wanted to sort of give a bit of feedback from a trip I went on, sort of belated 40th birthday. I mean, I'm well past my 40th birthday now, but having had my 40th during COVID, it was a bit restricted, and my wife recently, she had her 40th birthday. And she, rightfully so, was going hell for leather with all the celebrations. And I thought, I really missed out on being able to go away. So managed to get a group of friends together. Not all beer aficionados, to be fair, let's say, but yeah, I went to Cologne in Germany for a long weekend. Which turned out to be an even longer weekend because our flight home was cancelled due to a technical fault with the plane. But that's a story for another day. But yeah, Cologne, I'm a massive Kolsch fan, or Kolsch as you should say. It's my house beer, let's say. I mean, I probably brew it on a regular basis. If it's almost like turnabout. I'll always have a Kolsch on, then something else, then go back to Kolsch. So yeah, 2 days in Cologne, brilliant city. We got great weather. It was the very start of September that we went. The beer halls were brilliant, and the crack was mighty. Really was good to get away with some friends that I hadn't seen for a while. It was one of those weekends where you literally, I woke up the next morning and I was sore from laughing. I couldn't really remember what I was laughing about, but you know what, just food for the soul, it really was. But yeah, Cologne, Kolsch was really good. It was really good to really have it on tap, from source, and was actually probably quite reassuring in the fact that whenever I was tasting some of the Kolsch from the different brew houses, It really did taste like the stuff that I was making at home. So that, if nothing else, that was quite reassuring. And also, I mean, I was surprised. I know cost of living, everything. Everything is quite expensive, etc. The money is tight, but I felt, for 2 full days on the drink, we arrived pretty early on the Friday, so we got sort of full Friday day with lunch and dinner, drinking, and waking up on the Saturday, going out again for lunch and dinner, and the full day in the brew houses or in the bars beside the river. £200 sterling all in for those 2 days drinking and eating. So I felt that was very reasonable, all things considered. I mean, I live in Edinburgh, and I could very easily spend, that in one day. Never mind two. So definitely thought that was good value for money. Hotels were relatively cheap, £75 a night, and the flights, we flew Eurowings, obviously German low cost airline, but again, reasonable flights, reasonable hotel, and reasonable beer prices, all things considered. So, thoroughly recommend it, especially for anybody that likes their Kölsch and wants to experience that sort of beer, the German beer hall experience with really good, hearty, and substantial food. So that was a really good weekend away. So thoroughly recommend it. Yeah, and what's the last thing on my list is really what I have brewing at the moment. So also I have a Kolsch on tap at the moment. As I say, I quite often have that. Getting towards the end of the keg, actually having a couple of friends round for beers on Friday. So I'd say would get through that. That gets me sort of space and an excuse to start brewing again. Obviously, I said I'll have the cider on the go from this weekend. That'll take obviously a couple of weeks to ferment, and then as I said, I'm going to age that in the keg until Christmas. So not really going to have that to drink until Christmas time. And then currently in the fermentation fridge at the moment, I have my Scottish National Homebrew Competition entry fermenting. So not rocket science to think of it. The Scottish National Homebrew Competition's in January, so not rocket science to work out that I have a lager going in for that. Won't say any more than that because don't want to give away what's going into the competition. And then after that, I don't know. I've got the grain up there for a brut IPA. So yes, a style that probably gets a bad rep, and it's a bit of a flash in the pan from about 2018. And a style that sort of died a death, and you don't really see anymore. But again, I mean, as I was saying with my cider, I like my cider to be dry. So actually, the fact of a really dry beer has perked my interest. So I have the grain, I have the hops, and I have the enzyme, the amylase enzyme that you have to have to help convert the last of the unfermentable sugars to fermentable sugars to push it down to dryness. So that will be going. That will probably be next in the Braumeister. And then probably after that I'll get a dark beer in before Christmas, and actually the dark beer might be my second entry into the Scottish National Homebrew Competition. But I haven't decided on that. So yeah, so all in all, keeping busy with the brewing. I've actually worked out. I've planned out sort of my brews for the rest of the year. And I think that'll take me up to 12 or 13 brews for 2023. So again, that's a personal record for me. Again, I mean, as I've stated before, you can sit behind me. I brew on a little Braumeister 10 litre, so I do get through the beer relatively quickly, and so it's a sort of quick turnaround time. But 12 or 13 brews equating to about a brew a month is is pretty much me maxing out in terms of the time that I can devote to it, given that I've got kids and everything, and everything takes time, and spare time is precious. So yeah, so that's me on 15 minutes. As I said, going to try and keep these short and sweet. Still threatening to do a sort of a pros and cons for the Braumeister. And now that I've got this sort of proper tripod set up and stuff, it might be a lot easier to do rather than try and do it with the handheld sort of wobbly sea sickness inducing visuals. So yeah, that's maybe my next video on the horizon. So good to see everybody again. Again, if you like the content, thumbs up and subscribe. But yeah, looking forward to the next one, and happy brain everyone. Thank you.